AskReddit Storytime. Please like and subscribe. What was the incident at your school? A friend's little brother, freshman, stood up in class and killed himself. He had taken the gun from his oldest brother. Their parents had no idea that there was a gun in their home. He had written a note to a girl saying he was going to do this. She went to her parents with it. They took it to the school. The school did nothing. We had a Dropbox organized by many of the popular students where anyone who received nudes would send them there and they'd be saved where select people could look at them. It was upwards of 800 pictures of graphic, underage nudity. Eventually someone made a mistake and it got busted. Like 30 kids went down for it and several others got hit with distributing child pornography. It was a mess. Of course, when it finally did get busted, the pictures spread like wildfire and every kid in school had their hands on hundreds of nude pictures of a huge portion of students, mostly the popular and attractive ones, but people from every social group were involved. Some people knew they were in it and some supposedly even submitted their own. Others had no idea it existed. The sexual tension in school skyrocketed far past the already high levels of any high school. Some kids were bullied for their pictures, others were praised. Kids switched schools, dropped out, you name it. It was an absolute clusterduck. Unfortunately many people made backups of it and they're still floating around our town. It's crazy shit. Edit. I'm really surprised to find out how many other schools had something like this happen. People are crazy. It was my junior-senior years. Between my high school and our rival South School, there were 11-13 deaths of students, primarily suicides including suicide by cop, pretending to hold a gun to get shot, and by car wreck. Kids stole a car and crashed it into another car, died on impact. There was a series of 3 within 1 week. Everyone at the school was really depressed. Students were constantly missing, had to bring in extra social workers and therapists, and teachers basically were powerless to control the student body and got really lax on schoolwork. The school brought in the survivor who jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge and we cancelled school for the day to go to the assembly and listen to him speak. Kids just sat in the auditorium and cried and just ditched class. I heard it's gotten a lot better but no one from my graduating class talks about it anymore. This made national news in 93-94. My freshman year of high school, a pretty and popular girl got pregnant by her BF. The BF denied it was his, and wouldn't have anything to do with her. She told her mother, and the mother flipped out and kicked her out of the house, and she committed suicide. The Spanish language channel was doing a graveside interview with the father, on live TV. During the interview, the mother showed up to the grave. That's when the father walked to his car, grabbed his gun, and shot and killed her on live TV. The father ran, but was caught trying to get to Mexico, I believe. Going to school was really sad and weird for a while after that. I didn't know her well, but we shared most of our classes together, and that desk that stayed empty the rest of the year was a constant reminder. Teacher was found getting sexual favors from a 9th grade girl who was held back like 3 times. I went to a school for people with ADHD, autism, and other more severe learning disabilities. A year or so later another girl claimed sexual abuse from a teacher who didn't actually do anything, she just was mad because he wouldn't let her keep disrupting class. He got fired and can't teach anywhere but hey, way to go Skylar. This guy was like 60-something and his whole life was devoted to helping kids. She bragged about it being fake and getting him fired. Everyone told her she was a huge piece of poop. Edit. Her name isn't actually Skylar obviously, but still guys, this happened like 7 years ago, maybe cool it with the death wishes. Okay, so this one's a little dark, but anyway. This happened when I was in year 5, what grade this would be in America, but for reference I would have been like 11, I remember coming to school and everyone was quiet. I asked what was happening but nobody would tell me. Eventually one girl in my class let me know. Basically, this teacher who was teaching year 4 at the time was caught trying to meet up with a 14-year-old girl for X. They had talked online for like a month, and during this time she repeatedly said she was 14. He also said some pretty ducked up poop like there's something innocent and fresh about them. In regards young girls, and baby, I just want to hold you and feel your lips on mine. It turned out to be a police sting operation and he was arrested and given a 2-year sentence. Fun fact, for our Easter parades he was the one dressed up as the Easter Bunny who would give out Easter eggs. There was no more teachers dressed as Easter bunnies at our parades after him. 1980s in an Australian high school in a country town. Teachers having affairs with teachers and their partners finding out. One partner, husband chased a teacher that was having an affair with his wife around the school and punched him. Male teacher having affairs with multiple female teachers at the same time and them finding out. Not bad for a school of about 500 students. Who needed drama on TV, we could watch it at school. My last year in high school, a girl whom everyone liked died in a car crash because she wasn't wearing a seatbelt. It broke the heart of a lot of people. The day after it happened, everyone showed up to school wearing blue in remembrance of her. It even started a hashtag called #ForNameOfGirl. Everyone on social media was posting about her, how much they missed her, etc. It was truly a sad occurrence and everyone seemed to be grieving. Obviously, there were people who capitalized on her death for attention, exposure, that sort of thing. Posting selfies with the hashtag, SoundCloud rappers using her name in songs to gain exposure. That same year a close friend of mine attempted to overdose in the school bathroom. He was the type of kid people made fun of because he was quiet and seemed like a school shooter. There was no hashtag for him. Edit. This was in Arizona, friend is still alive. The fork incident. My freshman year, 2 red-wearing gangster kids got into a fight for some reason that nobody remembered or cared to even remember, and the two started a legitimate fist fight. The fight escalated within seconds, and the other kid stabbed the other kid with a fork. For some reason, all the kids for the rest of my high school years remembered the incident. If a kid was gonna get in a fight, some kid would inevitably say to bring a fork, or give a kid a fork as a joke. A sex tape was discovered between 3 students. Maybe one was filming? Don't remember the breakdown. The guy came in the girl's eye and she was known as Cyclops throughout the rest of high school. Not sure how people saw this tape cause it was like 2004 before smartphones, so it must have been like a physical tape. A ceiling tile fell on a student. 2 students were found having sex in the girls' bathroom and they were both dating other people. In 9th grade we spent 45 minutes in world geography class watching our teacher, who was also the baseball coach, chase a cow off the baseball field. 10th grade English teacher Mrs. White forgot the intruder alert drill was just a drill and freaked out and farted quite loudly trying to make a barricade out of desks. No one told her that it wasn't real until the toot. Someone microwaved a cat and left it in their locker. After a couple days the stank was so overwhelming they had everyone in that hall open their lockers. Ended up with 10 drug arrests and 1 smelly-ass cat. This smug, class clown type once said that he was gonna duck a certain 300-pound coach's daughter. To his face. The coach grabbed him by the hood of his hoodie and dragged him out of the gym on his back. The coach himself was pretty beloved for being a fun guy and a great gym teacher, so absolutely no one sided with the kid on that one, but I'm pretty sure the coach lost his job. Edit. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think he did. I was in his class senior year, and I feel like this happened junior year. There was also the time all the boys' bathrooms except for one in the office got closed because the boys couldn't stop smearing their poop all over everything, but from what I've heard that's not uncommon. Why y'all so nasty? Bed bugs infested the school. The school didn't notify students or parents till a week after it was discovered. Almost 100 students brought them back to their home. The county ended up paying for the cleaning of all the students' homes and finally everyone figured out which student initially brought the bugs to school. Poor bed bugs Bernie. We've had a lot of incidents. Our school in our area is known as cursed. I think there's been 9 deaths of students in my 4 years of going here. Sophomore year chemistry teacher was arrested for distribution and sale of meth. Freshman year had 2 bomb threats in 2 weeks. Freshman year also had 2 gun threats. Had a guy in the student parking lot after school threatening to beat kids up if they didn't give him money. 1 or 2 kids from my school got raped by a fellow student from another school at a sleepover. Edit: this was a year or 2 after I got out of middle school, but one of the administrators was fired due to texts arising of her texting a student telling the student to harm another smaller and younger student. During the school day, somebody set fire to the toilet paper rolls in the men's bathroom. For some reason though, the school was put in lockdown instead of being evacuated. I guess it was because the fire was relatively small and was put out fairly quickly, but it did send my social studies teacher to the hospital since he got hit by a stall door trying to put the blaze out. AskReddit Storytime, please like and subscribe.